tell her, good morning. What's good about the morning? I'm like, Yana, we just woke up. What do you mean?
You brought me your marriage license, which I have, and you've given me permission to tear it up should I not think that this union is a good idea. You've also completed a compatibility test.
That's a little extreme. Why are y'all getting married if y'all need a judge to intervene before the marriage to say, should she be ripping up y'all goddamn potential marriage papers? That is insane. If you don't trust your partner before the goddamn marriage, why are y'all getting into it? What? And why would y'all do a love compatibility test? Now we bringing scientists into it. If y'all don't like each other that much, just say that.
You've been together since what, you were 16? Or you were 16,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And you finally proposed.
Yes,
and you have it on film.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to see it before we get to complaining about one another. So let's see the proposal.
That's me. I was in basic training in the Army, Your Honor.
That's beautiful.
Got on one knee. That was a special day of my life, too. And
We love a
ruined
man
it.
in uniform, too. It looks good. I don't know what it is, but it's nice.
She ruined it, though, by
Army, whatever he did it.
taking that ring off.
How did she ruin it? By taking the ring off?
Your Honor, 3 months later, she took the ring off.
Wow.
She was accusing me of cheating or whatever. She had her doubts, Your Honor.
Ooh.
So she took the ring off. It was collecting dust right in the closet. Just straight collecting. I picked the ring up, dust falling off it and everything. So I pawned it.
That's a little extreme to pawn the goddamn ring. Y'all been together for 16 years. Now all of a sudden when you propose, you want to start cheating. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't know what's going on here. This story making no sense. After 16 years, you cheat once you propose. It's a little late for that. Now you want to start cheating? You should have been doing that before the proposal, if anything. I'm not even saying he cheated 100%, but damn. If you want to start being accused of cheating, why wait till after the proposal?
Everything. So I pawned it.
So you pawned it? If she wasn't going to wear it, what use is
to a
it?
guy. So, rather turn it to some money, Your Honor.
Why did you take the ring off?
Well, it was actually poking my kids. It was kind of sharp. I took it off to get it altered. And before I got a chance to put it back on, I look up and I found a receipt that, it was pawned. And I'm like, okay, where is my ring at? So I asked him, and he was like, I pawned it. He gave me this ugly face or whatever, when he guilty. So I said, where's
There's
my
no
ring?
reason
And
to
he
take off a
pawned
marriage
the
ring,
ring.
Let me ask you this. You say there's no reason to take off a ring, and a wedding ring or an engagement ring. But my understanding is all of this is a function of trust issues that the two of you have with each other, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
She thought you were cheating. Why don't you tell me a little bit about her jealousy and the issues you have with her?
With her, she's very jealous, Your Honor. You know what? She's a club. She's addicted to the club. Like, she goes to the club 3-4 times a week, Your Honor. With single
Hang on.
friends.
I'm not trying to hear none of that, bruh. You married her. Now all of a sudden her being at the club 3-4 times a week is a problem? You put a ring on her. You left for the Army with her. Y'all were together 16 years. You wasn't in the city. She still was being Miss City Girl. Did she just randomly start popping up at the club? Like, I'm so confused.
With single friends, single friends are ready to mingle. Why are you hanging with single friends? You have some friends that, have husbands and stuff. Why don't you hang with them? And she goes to the club lets out at 2, 3, and she don't get home till 4 or 5. As a matter of fact, one time, Your Honor, she didn't get home till 11 in the morning.
Mrs. Brown, are you down to the club, staying all hours? Hang on.
Well, that was the case. I did go out that night. My friend, she did not want to take me home. I don't know. She was drunk,
She didn't
hangover.
call, didn't text, didn't do nothing.
I texted him.
No.
And I called him.
No.
And I let him speak to her. And he still didn't believe me that I was over there. I came back in at 11, and then him and his little friend be over there all the time on the couch. And, they was over there, and he had a little input of what to say.
About what's going on. Let me ask you, Ms. Brown, how often do you go to the club?
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mr. Mahone?
I go to the club probably once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Probably once a week. So that means at least twice a week, right? Because no one says probably once when it's really once. They try to give a little wiggle room there. So you go a couple times a week, right? Okay.
She guilty. She guilty. But he also guilty for wanting to marry her. You don't just pop up at the club once or twice a week out of thin air. This is a habit of hers, a lifestyle. You don't just start popping up at the club. I'm so confused right now why they would get married if they're already having these issues off jump.
Just want to go out and have fun.
Yeah, but you see the same people in the same club. Ain't nothing but drunken, thirsty dudes in there that want to talk to you.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Mahone. What are you doing while she's at the club? Are you just left at home?
I'll be at home, sleep.
No, he don't.
I'll be
He
on the
right
couch,
behind me,
sleep.
just like the other day he went to the club and he came in at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was him, his friend, with her his girlfriend. He was waiting on her to get the key.
What?
And he said that she was at Walmart until 6 o'clock in the morning. He told his friend she lying because she didn't come back with no bags. So I'm like, okay, so what was you doing?
Yeah, I was on the phone with her, though. It ain't like I didn't call her or text her, let her know what was going on.
Let me ask you this. Do you drink when you go to the club? Do you drink when you go to the club?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you guys drink a little too much? Are you drunk every time you come home from the club? You got kids.
Yeah. I mean, I can retain myself, yeah.
Who watching the kids at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning if y'all both at the damn club? They painting it like they both be out clubbing. Who's at home with the kid? What is going on in this situation? Yeah, they don't need to. I ripped the marriage certificate up my damn self. I don't even need to hear the full context of their relationship. So far, I'm not liking it. They don't need to be getting married. They're goofy.
You're inebriated, but you're stable.
Yeah.
You may lean, but you never fall.
Yeah.
Okay. It still impairs your reasoning and judgment, even if you can maintain, vertical. You got that part, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that your partying lifestyle must cease when you have not cease completely, but it has to be, as you say, contained in order to maintain a stable home for the little people. That's all I want to say about that. Okay. Now I want to go. You got a couple of issues. One about disciplining the children. You say that Mr. Mahone doesn't discipline them at all, and you're stuck doing all of it. Why don't you explain your concerns with respect to how he parents?
Well, in my household, when growing up, I got whoopings and
Damn.
not got beat, but got whoopings,
Damn.
And I did have an attitude when I was younger. It was worse than now, and my mom didn't play that. So we
Makes
grew up in
sense.
different households. He didn't get a whooping when he was younger.
Was he
So
talking back?
I guess that's where it come from.
So if you talking back to your parents and they going upside your head, at a certain point, you need to shut your ass up as a kid. If you keep talking back to your parent and they hitting you for it, why you keep talking? So you telling me him in his house, he didn't get hit by his parents. Was he talking back to his parents? She just said she still got an attitude to this day, but it ain't as bad as when it was a kid. I don't know what's going on.
So you spank, and he doesn't like spanking.
But he doesn't discipline either. Like, I tell him, if you don't discipline, both of them gonna run all over you.
When you say he doesn't discipline, he doesn't tell them to stop that. He doesn't put them on timeout. He doesn't direct them, anything like that. Doesn't make them do chores, that kind of thing.
Right.
Mr. Mahone, your response to that is?
Yeah, Honor, I do discipline my kids. I take the game away from them, I do discipline them.
That's a good one.
Do they listen when you talk to them?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, they listen to me.
Dad says something, it happens.
When I raise that voice, they know what's going on. And see, I didn't grow up with a father figure in my household, so I didn't get whoopings and beat on. And, my mom, she would tell me what I had to do,
Makes sense.
and then take that TV out my room. That was my punishment.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Brown. When he speaks, do they listen?
Sometimes, like my daughter, no.
That's
she
because my
is a
daughter
mess.
is like her. Exactly like her. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
My daughter is her a spitting image. She already has the attitude down packed. She looks just like her and everything.
That's why I discipline her, because I don't want her to be like me. And
But
he,
Out in
I
the
mean,
club
Wait a
every
minute,
night.
wait a minute.
Out
You
in the
discipline her
club
'cause
every night.
You don't want her to be like you. You spank your child because you don't want her to be like you.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, I'm gonna pull back into the compatibility test because it paints a picture of what you're afraid of and what he's afraid of. When I asked him what 5 things he didn't like about his intended, he wrote, attitude,
Woo!
attitude, attitude, attitude. When I asked him what he wanted from his wife, he said, less attitude.
Sound like he need a whole new woman. Sound like that's her personality trait since she was a child. She got disciplined from her parents for it. She toned down as bad of an attitude as she had as a kid, but she still has one. So it sounds like it's just who she is. And even got it rubbing off onto the children that the kid got an attitude. I don't know what's going on, man. She feel like she need to be whooping on her kid because her kid got an attitude like her. That's insane.
If you would change one thing about your intended, what would it be? Her attitude. So, Mr. Mahone, give me some of the examples of her attitude.
Her attitude, okay, like, we'll wake up in the morning, Your Honor. I'll tell her, good morning. Huh? What's good about the morning? I'm like, Your Honor, we just woke up. What do you mean? I'm happy I'm alive. We in the store, Your Honor. She like, do you want the green beans or do you want the corn? The corn. Huh? Why do you want the corn? Huh? And storm off down the aisle. And we go to the same store, get the same food every week. And get mad, and she know what I like. She know I'm
like
to pick
to eat
the corn
junk
over the
all
green
day.
beans.
That's what he want me to pick out, junk.
Okay.
He don't like eating healthy.
He doesn't like to eat healthy. Okay. Now, how do you
gotta-
respond to his failure to eat appropriately? Is it a calm, hun, you ought to eat more vegetables, or are you going in on it?
Well, I try to make him eat healthy, but he like.
See, we're not talking about eating healthy. We're talking about the manner in which you deal with him.
Woo.
Are you, when you ask him to eat healthy, how is your attitude?
Well, I say, would you like some?
It's called BS already. Would you like some? Now she the sweetest person I've ever seen. Now he dramatic on how she be acting. You just said your kid got the attitude that you have, and you be wanting to whoop her for it. How would you whoop your kid if your kid is talking about, could I do this? If your kid got the same attitude as you, and you want to whoop your kid, how are you Miss Polite? She making no sense already.
Mrs. Brown, you see, you tiptoeing around the landmine, and I got you to get you to step right on it because you already told me that you're tough on your daughter because you don't want your daughter to be like you because she's got too much attitude. So that means you have too much attitude. If you cannot address what you have, you can't fix it. Now let's talk about it. How loud and crazy do you get?
How loud
I
and
don't
crazy?
get loud and crazy at all. Like certain things, like when he, when I go in the bathroom, he brushes his teeth. He leaves the top off the toothpaste. It's easy if you could just close the top. Like that burns me up.
I mean, but that's minor.
And then what do you do that burns you up? So how is your response? How do you do that? Do you yell?
Yeah.
Do you holler? Do you curse?
No.
Do you throw stuff?
No.
How she deflecting on what he be doing? He don't put the cap on the toothpaste, and that makes you want to yell. Why you keep leaving this goddamn cap off the toothpaste? How many times I gotta tell your ass, keep the cap? Like, what's she talking about? She yelling because he ain't put the cap on the toothpaste. What are you doing? That is not that serious. She is losing her mind in that house.
He's not
throws
bleaching stuff
He
or anything
goes
like
and
that.
When he have temper tantrums, he, throw food aside the wall and all of that.
Give me an example of one of the worst attitudinal issues you've had with her.
With her having an attitude?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, I want to bring it back to my daughter, because I told my daughter to do something. All of a sudden, she said, You know, and it just
The
happened.
daughter fell
The
out.
daughter, yeah, exactly. Look at that. I'm like, wait, is that Alex or is that my daughter? I'm like, whoa, I don't, you know, so that's like her seeing her do that, she's gonna do it to everybody else.
Let me explain this to you. There's always a question of nature versus nurture. And you might think that she has an attitude because she has your genetics. She might have an attitude because she's watching your attitude.
Studying.
And she's repeating what she's seeing you do. It not be in her head. It might be through her eyes. You're teaching her to fall all out. That's just,
They clapping.
just my thought. Just my thought on that matter. I understand, however, you are not blameless, Mr. Mahone. I understand you have an issue with respect to name calling. And I want to know what it is a grown man with 2 children is doing calling his wife names. Mrs. Brown, I'm gonna start by asking you about it. You complain that he calls you names all the time. What kind of names does he call you?
Like if the Parkers come on, he'd be like, Alex? Like he'll say I'm Nikki Parker.
Oh,
Because I'm
okay.
fat or whatever.
Well, you do favor a little bit.
Oh! Calling his own wife Monique because she a big girl. That's crazy. And the judge doubled down. You is kind of big-boned. That's crazy. That's insane. I gotta take her side on that. Y'all be calling her Nikki Parker.
I don't know if it's an attitude thing. She's funny. She's not mean. Do you call her names, Mr. Mahone?
Yeah, it only comes out when the disrespect comes. You know, she disrespect me in front of my kids. You know, I'm gonna be a man in front of my son, and I'm looking like, you know, I'm just getting talked to down. She don't listen to me or nothing. Right in front of my son, my daughter too. So I don't put my hands on females. I don't never do that. So I might hit a glass off the table or, you know.
Damn, knocking glass onto these two are crazy. Your own wife don't respect you in front of your kids and you feel like you're not showing them that you hold the fucking, I don't even know, but he's saying it's like his kids don't respect him because the wife be talking crazy in front of the kids, so he start knocking shit around the house. Are you crazy, bro? You can't pull your wife to the side. Yo, stop saying that in front of the kids. You talking way too crazy. You don't stoop to her level and start calling her names. You supposed to be the man in a relationship. Lead by example and she follow. What are y'all? I'm telling y'all they don't need to be together. That they already got kids. How this go on for 16 years is beyond me. How is this happening for 16 years?
Call her Kim Parker or something, but
a meaningful response to one crazy parent is not to have the other parent be crazy too. Do you know what I mean? If you are worried about the image that your children are seeing, don't worry about they don't think I'm strong enough. Worried about, do they see rational? Do they see calm? Do they see a reasonable response to difficulty as opposed to an acceleration or exacerbation of difficulty? You with me on that one?
Exacerbation.
yes, John.
That's what chat do every night.
So y'all been talking about each other like dogs out here. So I want you to give an opportunity to convince me that there's even a reason for you to get married, other than the fact that you have 2 children together. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Mahone. I'm going to give you 90 seconds to sell me on the fact that Ms. Brown is the only woman for you. Go.
Well, I love her. You know, we've been together for a long time, over 10 years. I met her in high school, and since then we've been attached through all the ups and downs. She had my back through everything. Like, if I get a flat tire on the side of the road, she'll be the first person. I'm actually one of the only people I can call. Always had my back. I'm like attached to her. I can't even sleep in the bed without her at night. When we do get into it, you know, I go to my mom's house or whatever when she want to kick me out or whatever, and by the next day I'm calling her and she calling me because we attached. And I know I love her dearly because I wouldn't have got on one knee if I did.
Well,
But you wouldn't have brought her here to the courtroom if you genuinely did. So you see something that you don't want for the rest of your life, but now you try and get her eliminated from your future. I don't get it. If she all this, then why are we here?
I mean, she shows up for you. You know what I mean? But I didn't hear anything about her, anything that you liked about her personality. But I'll let you have that one. And it's always tough to be the first one to go. So I gotta give you 10 extra points just for leading the ship here. There, Ms. Brown, why don't you tell me why you love Mr. Mahone? You got 90 seconds to sell me on Mr. Wonderful over there. Go.
Well, I love him, and he's a great parent. He would be a great husband figure. He's cute, I guess. And
Whoa!
he entertains with the kids a lot, and I like that about him. And he cooks dinner, and most men can't cook. I like how he cooks his chicken.
This is terrible. They do not like each other. I like how he cook his chicken.
And he a great father.
Y'all sad and pitiful. You're just tired and woo! How long you been together?
About 12 years.
It shows. You guys act like an old married couple, so you might as well be an old married couple. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the wedding certificate. Having said that, can I give a little piece of advice with it? Ms. Brown, you gotta dial back on that anger. Anger is a very able imposter. It's usually fear or frustration all dressed up to look like power, but that's all it is. You've got to address whatever you're upset about. You've got to calm it down. If everything is setting you off, then the entire world is in command of your day. You're the only person not in charge of what you do, because the toothpaste cap and the toy on the floor, all of them are directing how you feel, what you say, your blood pressure, your children's safety, calm, and stability is all being dictated by every little knick-knack thing in your house that happens that makes you crazy. Good Lord, do you want to give up that kind of power? So you have to address that like it's issue one. Issue one is the rest of the world does not determine how I feel, and I am in control of who I am, and that anger is a failure. When you get mad, you lose, because the environment has hijacked your head and you can't think anymore. So if you look at it like that and work it like that, it will be better for you. Quit calling your wife names. It's not cool. It's not good. It's 12-year-old behavior. You shouldn't do it. Both of you need to get out of the club, quit drinking, go home, and have a game plan for your family. Don't just live day to day. Know where you're headed, know where you want to go. Because if you don't have a game plan, you don't know where you're going, you end up anywhere. And you don't want that to happen. So go ahead, get married.
Most important thing they need is communication. That sounds basic and generic advice, but realistically, you get mad at dumb shit, they gotta sit down and talk to each other. They have to sit down and have a fucking parent-teacher conference type of thing about their relationship. But we know they ain't gonna sit down and talk. They too worried about heading to the club to get drunk. So all these issues gonna get ignored. They just gonna keep overlooking it, burying it with alcohol. The kids are seeing how they act, so the kids are mirroring their parents. Man, I told them they shouldn't be together, but it ain't for me to even say nothing. Until they have actual conversations with each other. Honey, I don't like the way you speak to me in front of the children. Honey, I don't like the way you leave the caps off. Could you please be considerate for me? They need to have an actual goddamn conversation.